service to humanity, without which these expectations will never be fulfilled. Yanyina yankaisa oman yensom no eri nipa no enye nipa keke anase enye nimpan said the professor Jekuma ya oka wa no nipa ye bra ye su ni ye mban ye da na die se enye ahope enye de mimi nkwa medie na mum ye nyinara atentene periperi yo nuado kroye nyamisro edi emu akotene a ebeboa ye nyina medase
Charles Ozo
Cardinal
Machiminia
Nana me just were ready dim
na ho te say
the otisra obintin so na da romanti ene yaka me akatas for ho te nana nyame nkuto ne ade aseda nyina bema no in fact amamwade a onyankopon ye ne da manipa yen shada nemfa yani enkoso kese se enipa da na de pa den achon bebre ne da bebre sina de pa chien so nye bebre na sebe esora hoden so nti de otesoro a obintini so na humo bro ne na domti na me hu ya papa ti me da wase ne wapamfo me nua kabila so doctor eti benim ha e mo nso so ache ahwefo ne tiefo nyina so eche obia
yo madam ase se monya ye ho adaje ye hwe anim se Dennis Miracle abaje ba be kan ye ho na ye twetwe enkomo yi doc me no wo hase enra ye da sorry ya honorable John Janapose containers bi no a ena no obeka kire se ayira e de free port ho no nyame adom se si ade container no ye hu na ye hu nsuso a de hu ye krasa do so sen de hu ye no do so sen de na yenim se ayira no eno eye ne a ewo say containers e hu ye ne 2637 na energy ministry say all my retrieval na o kire ports no terminals ahodo na that containers no eguo afei nansane ne na CID4 efre untumi a okoye no akoye no omukokodi nkomo no anopa ne lawyer kasa ma o kan se omo ka chen se nra wi abe no miensa omra no ne omo san medi nkomo okoye kono omukokodi nkomo no wie oba be fro ne ka no na yokofo se de omo ekoto fie so de ka akokoro so no na ja omo koche no wo ho ebesisi ye kasei odaso ewo yokofo ensema eno so ho asem ewase anope doc sam yenu menim senia opese okambom efa no ti the next 15 minutes ba chom pese mitio
well I cardinal answer na me question na o say
but twi obi bi ne kakra
o kan no kakra say oh okay
Supreme Court no
yeah yeah asamwa court no enyamidin mu a meka ho de na ye eku a ye frɛ no Center for Citizenship, Constitutional and Electoral System census ameda no say ba no dani ana say Chief Executive Officer na yansemo a ye de call ye a wo mo frɛ ye no ne fa bi a na ye say ansa na asempopa ye de akokot no ye beka no enka wo mo ma committee a ye frɛ no Puaman committee a wo mo hwehwɛ Chief Justice nsem no mu no on twen so ansa kopem sɛ ye bedi asem na wie ɛna Supreme Court say dabi census for ye betimi adi mu asem na abra committee no so ye na dwuma em say the ubon na eba chire na I say yasem na ye bo agu asem na de ye nka mu afi na ye bo ho enkuro ana say ye di ho adanse
oza
mentimi ho ase bi efa emra no nkyire mu kakra fa article 146 wo de hwɛ adwumasomo a atemuafo wo ewo man Ghana ha ni titru ne temuafo pani a won ne da no as Chief Justice kwani a na nsen ye de no fa so ene kwanya mampani fa so de article 146 ye adwuma no cardinal ya dwimu no ifi se enfomso bi akoso ho no mu a Supreme Court nkwana obetimi amanchiremu ewo emra no se de esese esi eka efa enti so bi aka se obia nka say mampani ade na oye no wato mra bi a e na ontie enkomo ni ye senses de yaka say anamo no amampani atu ene anamo a committee no etu no edi intention kakra efa yamamra no ho na ye de adanse so akọ Supreme Court wo mu behwe sasem no na wo mu ne ye aka se ye ne mo ya adwene ana se ye ne mo nya adwene anya hana ye beka yasem ni nyina nti intention bi wo no ye fi se akoso a ye ya adwene mu no ye de akodan Supreme Court enti eno no meyi wa fi na maka se ye mpa ya ye bo ne se asem we no sabi enye Supreme Court we ya e wo ho sesi ayi ana se Chief Justice aye kana se mami tokunu e ho asem asem aye kana ne frapempa eye ya mamra ne frapempa ya minummienu se omanma ahotoso ne gidia ye benya ewo tumi ahodo miensa ye se eno ne kuta man no eye executive eye legislature any judiciary inkita hudie esese ekoso wo muntem ene obia ni dwuma somo a eda ne so na eben ho nso de nso emutete anasa emu eda nso no ye behwe se ye di yie betu yie na nkoba ne sade nananom kan ye 1968 in the case of Akufo-Addo and Kwasi Aidan say mayemfa tumi nkoshe bakufo bia nsem democracy na se no eni se obi obakufo bi ne nko ana ho den ebru obi ade so okwa amanone wiase afan so a cases bi no wono mu a wo mu aka America nom ani ade Marbury versus Madison enti ye gidie ni se ye behwe na ye di yi atu ye na enkoba ne se ye hwe wo mu a wo mu din ene wo mu mprempren yi enko ana ye ka ho asem na mmom ye daachi ya mamra ene ye ka be maminka bia ye fi se eno na beboa ye mpuntu ene ye nkanko kese kadna me ye no firi on mu a ne ekoso wo man mu hanmu nansan no ye bibia sese mampani otrase yie no hwe ne yie efiri se ye to aba wie ye kadna na nipa bebre fi se enya asem so na ya asem as president elect na mampani oni tumi bia wo ya mamra yi mu se o se wa set up bibia ye friend ora ye ka ya no na bi no se ye nkyere mra kra wa tia na me say answer is very simple ono no yes ade no on kyere mra ho odin a ode ye na so ontimi nkyere mra ho odin bia de a that is what tia mra every say ho man we tumidie ya de mra na edi se udi tumi na wudie no ana tumi a wudi ya adwuma no eni fapem ewo ya mamra no mu a ene na tumi na wudi no edi ntanchia sabre no mu yesi ya floway we kwa we ye ya na nyame adom 7 January 2025 by ena mampani usaye yedini siso se wabe Ghana mampani sa efri sa bre no banyinara de oye bia owotumi wo mramu nsunsumi eda de oyeye se ose wo set up ora any de oye subsequent to January 7 2025 no nsunsu edem no enne no wo sai abrano okuta akofuna no mu ayedi oman tumi ahodi nyina ama no na efri won mu bei no Cardinal, one more sabi ye to abayi wo mu na president any members of parliament. I am for see chief justice ye to abayi no. Speaker of parliament. Ono so wo mu say ye to abayi no de. Enso ye hu say ye to abayi no. If you say members of parliament na koto aba ana say e ka say ono na onye banodafo. Sa to me na speaker of parliament wono. Enwa bi na chief justice wo say mampani a yeto abayi no ene pa ono ena okọ parliament nipa pi aya na ye refi say chief justice ye pa ono a or ye subject to parliamentary vetting parliament busa nana toto nano ebusa ehu say dibra ye de ma no sebi osefata ana obetumi ayana ansa na yagina tum se oye chief justice enti eno so me pese me twen yadwene si so ho na weina wono mu a sebi yantu aban yi wo mo enso tumi ayeto aba ede mama mpani wapone bi ama wonom so mu fanya adwuma ebi ni police IGP ebi ene yoko pani ebi ene NIB BNI tidings such a no crime na mentiasie but abanisa but one more hwe efie amanwe nhwehwemu ene de keka ho no nyina no wo mo yanto abayi wo mo so tumi ayede ma wo mo no de opa wo no ye obi ayeto abayi nti eye sa tumi no bi na wapone ama wo mo cardinal wo mo dwuma wo mo di no eye o man ni di mu a na emra ebata ho ekoba ne se wono ma hwe yen secret ni intelligence so wo mu dwuma wo mu di na nkasa no wo mo antiasie ye anhunu se the main function of national security is the safety of the country and the safety of the citizens. Say manu bajo ama mampani ni na pamfo mrahye badwafo o man ma ye wo mu ye nyina ye be ye chefa ama o man no ye di aba na ekoba ne say ye da su bia di mamanfo ehu be hye ye mu a ye se upam hu fo auto ne bema sa asem na mpani ka no e wona se chepi ne bema na hu no say na o si ko hu no ede no so ye ehu enya de a eya de pa ye de hye obi mu enti ya to nsa afra obi omra eya posifo aso ye omeyi nsema no yi nsem na nu awie owie ya ye se ekuo fofra wo mo so de eye oman tumi na eye adwuma wo nya posifo de enso wo mo tumi aposifo wo ni bi yoko kra no me maka wo happen nyame nkwa na meka the late Justice JNK Taylor waka the unconstitutionality of the Serious Fraud Office any OSP ni nyinara but oman yi yete wo ye hwe police headquarters animu wa ya say wo mo so abeche eye nipa na ya bonu ko adu wo police headquarters a ya tutu na no awi a ya ma ne bail akwa hosan se onko na kire ya san hwehwe ni nsemu no ya se ya san akwa akwache no ya che no so ya de no kwakwache aban kokomu biom police cells any yoko cells anasa BNI cells mi hu susue bi edantem ni ya ye ayi aban kokomu a na anye bia mampamrika yitu akwan cardinal tumidie ya de ahobrase nyansa abojo chere eni hunumu eni nyame bambo eni idi wanya sa niema na opepre hu bebrea mpani asem mo kan se bre ana mre ye ninka so no efro na efro wa sabi ya de ya wom ni se enya wo nko a eya na kosa omanfo ene o man na nkasa ehihye ya ye de me mesre na maka kire omu nyina ne se man na ye chichire ye mfa nipakuo bi nko a ne be chichire man no ena ye nyina ye chefa wo mu no so no sabi enya bibia akwa na se wiase a yetimu yi obenfo KY amako ena oka asem bi wo contemporary issues in foreign policy, diplomacy and international affairs. The Council of Foreign Affairs Relations in Ghana, Omo Troye 2023 year. Or say, if you know the beginning well, the end shall not trouble you. So usuya ete ashasina si ya awiye no en hawadwen pi. Said the yasha see di kwe me mpese meye eye konfobone, but I can guarantee you asipen and enam say asipen na mpani aka ma yate se ahunu bi pen enti na aboa asrewa oje ne ba ntanta na wodi nani ato nchen no ni hunu mu ewo mu pa ne se yanhwe ye ne esan ye biomu a ni asipen no ebetumi asan si bio nye ekwe enye yenya ehu ene akatim sam a ye pese ye di bu man amamuo ye de dodo ene eye eni tin efra no dodo amamuo enye baakofo ya antie na ye se ya antie a so antie fa so mame
so antie memfa so antie ene dem de kwa koma cha so usu no Dr. Abraham Virginia Dennis akwaba
mejo so kana
na what is saying
nyamedom me so fache me say my elite kakra mpenifo e wo ha me se wo
ya metias
reverend senior adaro madok fache me
I get to that crowd.
was the last week
me na me ko ka say yellow
was the last week no and I atwe maso emo ma me time kume bi ene kwa de ayo kwa ma nkasa
They want you lecture.
oh sa let me tell you
Doctor Kasa here.
yo so doc yo so
you dey men cash me ne hwia meka
ya fache wa adaro
mate
no se fi no ha no ba ha na mu wa wo
zao
se afi ma me nche Wednesday so no me call e friend say city TV for no
omo wa kire ya
nti ube free ho no traffic na wa ha na na
traffic
ma
ni
me
ho e free ho ba ha
nine
se no mo mpa de na traffic ni ho
oh asembe
na ho de traffic ni ho
fache me
mate anyway Reverend
Wadaroma ho brasi ma menchia mikro mu man hene eye nana kwamba for so enan nana kransa man hene nana mechia oba bia wa no pai nana ma fense ya di nkomo we hada na meka se containers na na ye ka ho asem enyira ye na huna na ye hu se nyame ada wa ye hu me bo se nyame ada wa ye hu aka se na enyira ye e be stress amanyo sem no otoda enya hu mrika ye betu but se de beti ma ye ni yi na ehu hia pa amachiri de bo enyum bi ose ohia kan de enye ya na ohia chiri eni asem no ke amambo no start na se ekoye sem bi sei na ede yam hihie e ba ne ehun sensem na bibie hye ne beka nsia na enshada entwe yisa in fact na mebisa ahun asem se minister beka kire se ayira mi ametie nka menye den me ametie so no minister
onya dey say na minister ka jo boana na mo hwehwe
me kwa no wan ono asabi o yama ne tumi obetumi dia ye de sese wo ye ewo mra kwan so na yetime hu baabi a eniema no anya kwa kodi mi ahwehwe no se ono kura pija ne nsa akosoro se ontumi a me ametia de na me nti mi fi se sa America na yetu boy sa mane ne yi no eni se enua John wo experience fa na mesre no se onya abutre na onto no boss hihye ne niam yi se be ya abribi oni ba bedi nkomo bia wo mountain so bia no e be gene se de wo kan pepepepepepe na enwie chire nkoyi bibi kona na oda no be ka chire se dun so abawie ade anchi no so be ka chire se nyame adaroma niam asasesa nti bi se ye nya abutre kakra ebe boa ma ne djuma odi akoso ba de nyame asese se na ayira o se na adwana kote o se obi ne fa yo se na ye wo hi o ene nyame adaroma ye inside aka da ye nsa so kan so na se ye hu niam ko a ewo mu amane bo no hu hia pa because ye bo amane ye kire eno ma dodo a ewo mu eni sika dodo a na se ayira ye behwere asoman nti ye nsa kan so me ye hu ne dodo ni se ya ka se 2637 ana ye hu na ye dodo sen initially no
say 1700 me nya figure ni ye na around 1700 containers that's 726 or thereabout but we have 1700
but see bia be kan ma ye nya 2637
but say 2637
ye de nyame ase se nkaka o man ne bobo ye nya mbo na
but ye engine tun sumu say na over 2000 say 2600 year ken say am pampa say 2600 container na ye hu a nti at the time ana minister no ka kire say 1007 na onim say dodo say na ayira na and 2 and when the ayira na ni ana say ebisa aka ho
there are more questions than answers
there's you nyina
there are more questions than answers said here you do any 2 minutes ka be kan ho asem there nti ameka say we need to have that a press conference from him on church mu kwan on fa so hu be anema no wo da ochira no say ye anema ye hu kwan be fa so anema ye because edi achinjeje beto o man mu ma ebinum kra call for say enchiche ebinum kra no ne ho sensem na ewi achiri san kofo nyina no we going to apologize to them say ye na ye kan nyina na nyesa na etia na nti o man ene ye chichire amanyuku amomo nya abotre because ya na ye Ghana foi ya na etim ye kunkum ye ho a mfi say o man ne bebo twa chichire mawi so a na wi na bia nana Yera Mahama say aban no eguso ekon Galamsey nemom ekon no nyade a edafam ya begidi pa say ekon no nafam nemom maka no mesensi su biem say ade say ye adwen say pese etu ase a yebetu ase nemom ye pese ye kisan so a yebetime kusan no on say ye de yensa nanam ho na ye defe ho de ye betima defe ho da bia ya ka ho asem but na ade na nkasa den ewo ho company for say dua enya wa be wo ani no sabe ye ntwa so ba yetu ase I've said say Galamsey fight na nye blue water guards first na yellow sisi and say about blue na say first one on lunch na yellow for and say about blue me medical kan akra say Yera Mahama pa Richard Japa on any team na sabi omudi omjuma e wo man mu ayenim se dom tie no there's nothing that is more special than the Galamsey fight no yema the special operations na wo no fanko room na onkonko chichichi mrantie ne mabawa na wo me Ghana fo a any foreigners omdom hoje e fama gudi e hu dwuma na ye nchichi wom na afi emrakwan ne yemfom emfaso na beyond that no maka you were concerned and the council assembly na menka abra me monidi abra nkomodi course working piski efa kwan ye befa so ye be Galamsey ho no e na osoje se if I don't know adwuma hoda sisi e kasa kra no parliamentary committee on lands and natural resources on a chairman sisi e kasa waka na mensumenene ya adwin maka so mampani ampa se opese ojan bibi na Galamsey ne team of the pastor on declare all those forest areas in military zone na eniaman kofom wi a yenti forest protection unit ebeye armed forces a unit of the armed forces a omadwuma mbedia ne se omde de bia kwaye no ene ensuo ehu no mbobɔ ho ban but enye water gas any blue gas ene de water gas and blue gas ne de penny force nsuo afakramo si aka ne che da bia soja for kra kwa security agencies ne kra kwa enye easy mom nkrom weapon na obi a onkra weapon on de na okwa obitima ye okona obi ye adwuma kra na de na obaye so oba mani amane bone de Ghana fo nyina yenka ma obi anti asese if you see something say something obi e hu se bone bi koso afa Galamsey ho e wo miamia ho a ye mo amane na yentu o mase na mbom se pese yetu ase de a the president should declare that area a military zone and ra me hu se abra enyumre no social media ye nua wuntumi yuko for no edi nsawso yi party for ni adofo bibire kugu ho de mu anse soja for tika mu a omo tisi ewura ho adentia omfi se enipa na aba bi go no man hwini yi a bambo be kofo man nsema den aba na kase ne yetumi ye we wo fi a se yetumi ye de chance a wo wuram because hu hia papa nti omampani ye ji wasamudi na asam no betimi ai adi mu yi awie paya de pese ehu an se Galamsey no eden abafom in fact we had 2022 said ye starting gold for oil hu nsema Galamsey ni pagya ne mu a enne so asa pagya ne mu biem sa because it is same thing na happen say ye to gold ɔman no to gold na ma bi say I see to free small scale for why small scale ben why how no got on which company which area and I see a cut gold in fino me who be there na me nim die say aban betima kire say gold na eton no anya multinationals na eton gold in fino but a free small scale for no fine area ben no or more pretty. Are we not buying from the same Galamsey for no cut gold in fino na say e to if you mo de a na ke say na e ben bold your mama motima ye more until na wo call na baby a omo ye Galamsey from a good year nyina apagya ne mu obi ka che say apagya ne mu oboa apagya ne mu because who say okay say mine na eto dia na so koye kra na mine ntimi ye nye obone so tia say enti misre omanbani briefing na onya ne nyina no well ntimi nkyere briefing a onya de but ono so ono as omanbani ntimi ntin si fam enkohwe de ye kan ho asem but ye num bi wo ha adwuma no sabe ya ye ho fa bi kakra through Forestry Commission ti kwaye na amanfo wo mu ni de esisi na meti ha meti hu ni na meti ni na de ekoso ni na meti day in and day out but you am person meti asem ya meti mate Galamsey no apagya ni mu na ekoso the reason why ntia say no yen kan ho asem say because media for say yen hu de bi once media for start so mu yen de da and ama aban any eden eba so by say e ho asem ka no onti no radio so onhu no TV so say na kan na etie no but obi catch us Galamsey no e kofo ma oboa e wo ho afekro na nkofo kra foforo eden ewurom omugusu to gold no enti misre fama gudi en dia e nyina ye dia your mind dia e so mind benefit ho and then na dollar bar for me u didwa na do sika kotoni ma wa mo no ni anaze oto bibi efa port ne ba aba fam e dia honto aba ye nya ya nkan nkofo kra nchensa ne mom ase ehwe ni ye se yenkum dwafo eden enidwa ye pesika no ne de boa ma ne ma kofom no na ye destroy ensase ensuesuo ene o man no ahoden na ekuraye no enti misre o man bani de wakan 5 months men kan just 5 months nka o se ka ya kwa wie by now but and she share no so be start from now no ene be me hu se ampa se o man bani obetimi aboa yen as o man am yetime tu Galamsey ase na say yentu ase because see nana it doesn't matter what NDC government will do under John Dramani Mahama so man ntime tu Galamsey ase a abana ye de boy MPP no ye besa de asa abana aboy Ira Mahama but odo me woman nyina na koma pa nyina any support am pese me support no na otimi achieve ni aim ma o man Ghana timi fa na tuma pefra no se o ntimi an solve Galamsey a na se me kan ho asem in the past me metena sen kan che them obade a me kan ho asem no because me better of video so kan say me call ekropon ekoja professor sansapon yi dan me yam shebe
asante ekropon ba choka ni na
no what's ekropon last year so okay last year somewhere
last year I think September now
September October ho me free dunkwao efa ayamfure body ekosi e kan say wasa kropon meru akoye na bi wudu akropon kasa dia wasa kropon kasa dia police barrier chi kwa ye tu abetu om feeling station chi hachi efie ni na nyina na ye serious me ba ya na me catch me nua Collins Osuamankwa am say Collins mo be lose election o say adenam hwe onim nipa e tu Galamsey no make kakra bi but cars na etwam from Takwa e besia Kokumase na yi no mo mtim nyina na mo do so chain nipa tu Galamsey no ehu de ye na bonten obi ampa mo na de om de bufu beto ba eden etia mobile no enanam bibia nsesan ensesan say Galamsey no abafoma na de nkofo entu from agudie no me betra kasa which is a lie nti yesre se omampani odarome se why wadwin se obeboa Ghana na yakon atia omo mukura nkrata nkoye adwuma na mo nkrata nko mo mukura nkoye adwuma be na omoye tiam bi se omo se small scale for na adwuma omoye
but ebiso se Galamsey no se a nema ko from kire se forest no kra na reasons ananka Galamsey for akwa gye aboso aban ntimi nko say aban se wagye 8 it means say aban ya de Galamsey no say abafom
nana say betimi agye atum say aban se wagye 8 ampa na obi animu a o control say misuma ni mani o ma yehu they should fly over the forest.
In fact, and I'm not comfortable because the way I mean a dog or feminine.
What is it? Now you're
and then the way I come let me know.
I'm for forest now. Now only say a couple forest somebody only say me a tie mame. Ye who say ampa quiet no aban say we retrieve no. Ya you can say ya reclaim sas no. Ensuo na to to yi. Ya nhihye say be dua nua na ma nua na san den. Asan ba back because na Galamsey for no forest be say hani be achemota ukotu no na e de say be yi no okwa asa ko fa Friday aka ho no odi aba and that is how Galamsey for den etie enti mesre say in as much as say ye pesikari ya o man ni yi na ye ye reserves ama aboa ma ye sika gina no yi no say ya nhwe ho ye ya bi sika na ye pedia and like I say entrenchi Galamsey na mana dem amana koso a chen kane kra se dem na etie if we say see ye bisa say omo enchire ba bia gold say yato every pa e be din I'm telling you na
Galamsey for na
e be din enti mesre niam bi ho ha ye amanyosem ma bibria na emwoyen ye nyan hihye papa the Ukuran krata is say your mom training proper training mom ye to famagudi a won say ensuo and say kwaye your mom kwan mom nkotu because some Ghana for Ghana need to me de na mum my me kan saa ni nyama nkofo nkotu nu saa na yenyan so you see akontia Galamsey ya retrieve 9 of the forests na nkofo ehyem yi ubi ni free man the next morning obahu na obi forest wedding ko ho ni yi nti hihye papa ibetima ye ama efi ne ko ye meka ho asem bien ene de yera kolonza da kan ya memene ne ya adwen say ye Forest Protection Unit na the wing of the Ghana Armed Forces na say omuduma omudia ne say omude ombo kwaye ne nsusu ho ban me wo gidie say famagudie ho nsema da bi edi ho nkomo no eto obitwa na me da se
me so me da se Reverend Charles Owusu Dennis album me so was the last week mama time then so enye no kre enne wa mantem wa ma etiefo hu se wa mantem no apacho na me de achewo enti mama akwan se kasa
say be ya me risk another day of time control it no they will give you see you Mate boss so now I think say me doc ne Reverend account no do na but as a miss we unity over the weekend answer na member myself so I think it's very important also mine echiche no I say your bomodiana especially near my critical na ebo ho ban and draw me who list of board members before National Health Insurance Authority Arabia SFN Dr. Salian said and Sally was saying na se mabapa or board no I think say all the other commentaries then I'm change no e won hear me. But what is crucial, and say there's evidence say Ghana Medical
Dental Council.
Dental Council at the letter Babon say omu nimuno na oni credentials BHS or a doctor. My son's who email response if American Board of Family Medicine almost like I say if I don't almost say the certificate to no crano and you almost certificate. Almost say the information provided does not match our records. We are unable to identify a physician matching the information you provided. We have reviewed the certificates provided. There are notable discrepancies between the certificates provided in comparison to certificates issued by American Board of Family Medicine. The certificate presented was not issued by ABFM. We share the certificate if John Hopkins University pictures in the crowd ha utimu say original picture no website and so no adete ni ade dia make nyina ne say ompani we no na social media anti ne maybe wo hwa bia obi de tewo kra na utumi hu omomoden ode ompa onyi ni nko bebi foforo e bia gratis foundation and I say another place but National Health Insurance there aka mesre say no nka ebe ya anka momo dia na nka omfo bi fofora obetumi aye saa adwuma no fa no nkokɔ to be very 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 honest enye ade sese edi agro okay say the last NDC administration no by the time be fi abay mu no na national insurance membership no almost about 5 million free mu almost 5 million no more free mu ena nyame adom yetumi build back men national insurance ababe jana nan so a membership aye be bebre no ntimi sere so betumi pa dia once say run on the credentials no questionable issues aba ho ne de nko betumi ommo de ananka onyi ni mfi ho na onfa obi foforo
part of the board.
Yes, onfa obi foforo nko we need to be very honest because national insurance they are critical. Nti me kokko back because social document abe nyina na it's clear say e run from the amemede mani hu ne de I say you can say imposter sembia baby and I don't think say it's good maybe obetumi call gratis foundation some gratis foundation omo ye mfidie ni omo na de and maybe a grains board but NHI it too much of a critical state institution or dey be call me pese make a container no ho na say me to be exercise that right no because our container say me e buy me betena ha ka kire wo say NDC are buying settings in the packaging and doso into more car some yentu ye boase na ne container enye friend say powder na from our boy hu no obia betumi awie bibia ba ontumi wia container
only nine
na oni so man peniti we krai ontumi mfa phone en friend ka say me car bedu port nti munyimpi o we so say ontumi yesa on man peni ontumi mfa phone keke kra friend ka say masoma me security for na ba me car bia ba nti munyina mo driving for nachi you can't do that so man peni person you car free porter na say ontua due to cra our processes obefa so no way to me nti so be catch us na container ira no I knew from day one say FN say no kra bi anim and then nyame adom minister na say aba be kase we hu de me ya wo mu say wo hwe ekwan of fast wa container no insem ne buy o kan no na we hu no on kan sa in fact na ne ya omo kan ya create impression say MPP akronfo na ewia container free port e me no so be ya news almost 2-3 weeks near discuss what Ghana has a MPP for your cronfo in a container. And they walk a say container this porter. You don't just come and tell us say you have retrieved. You haven't retrieved anything because the thing was at the port. At the end you can only retrieve at the end no akokofa. The thing was at the port. And to don't come and report to us say I have retrieved. You retrieved nothing. The thing is still at the port. And painful. Me the eti aya na inse we make am make can say ye no still aye ho hin en koye oh and NDC for no omo ride on good woe na ye ho hin no into koka bi pe obi tifie we dwadwadwa because obi wo ho a debt restructuring ka no so eti we dwaw eti even though the awokase sia na no kra no still ebu fo no woni mu eti say am ho time kakra eti dey am pese make no too much no
healing process
obi edwa de ne ya na o ka ti say dey am ka say ni buafo de den and no and NDC for take advantage omo de yeri omo pe enti niam bebre na NDC for ye obi en kan wasem do ko dim say me no ka say in the past 130 days cement bo 45 cedi na be ka ho what is obi aka wasem but onim na o mira ko so ko ka egrofo edwa etu ko ka pe oh say me twi di pano so na buafo no me twi na dua ko so ka say onua
just
ya be ya yesra mo de embra so me bufo no ko fam ne en kansem no because you also need to be one day some day about bonting. But the truth of the matter is they are simply doing a lot of these things because of your friend is saying goodwill. Nanka goodwill and the lead diplomat or my way foreign affairs minister to Mr. Aropan on the Facebook wall and they announcing the closure of an embassy. Foreign affairs when say a serious matter where even the American government in Ukraine can have issues with you. Say you are cutting diplomatic ties with them abruptly. And now, me who I didn't know me for phone. I'm afraid a few people are minimum Washington. A friend is a mission or Wadampo. Sada no crown now. I announced a holiday in America into Wada. Into even staff in our mission. They didn't know say BBC AC. And now say a embassy and you will be a more American embassy or Washington. You know your visa where you man or your consulate. Obi hard and now. Or you more American embassy or Washington. But nim processes cra sa visa nneɛma na yɛde fa so
so need that department
wonim sɛ wokɔ embassy na wɔ Washington wɔn a yɛwɔ nkurɔfoɔ a yɛposti ɔmo efi immigration service ebi wɔ ha Ministry of Trade ebi several different agencies wɔ Ghana ha Ministry for Information ɔmo yɛ ɔmo adwuma different matter ɛna yɛn embassy na wɔ Washington no so no ɛnyɛ visa nko ano ɔmo yɛ eti sɛ wakɔkɔyɛ investigation na wɔn sɛ obi ayɛ biribi ɛwɔ embassy hɔ a you don't just come and announce say what shut it down embassy no on your Facebook wall oh that's an outro Foreign Affairs Ministry letterhead is umpa ankeye on your Facebook wall and now they announced the shutdown of a mission in Washington Abba there is a reason why even war cry yakwa yet to me smart media phobia share omo vest near to bomb no mo yemfa yensa nkomo yefa no protocols I remember sir even war now will be a funny kuku no there are some people who are allowed Red Cross for yemfa yensa nkomo UN DNDF for yemfa yensa nkomo and there is a reason for that in the diplomatic world ne die ye wokwa yefa so ye de nneoma twenaso prosecute him retrieve bibia waye but don't put the entire nation at radical simply because you want to show people say you are working. Me, I wasn't impressed. Me, miracles. There is nothing impressive about their foreign affairs minister, no? Or
Okay, just a minute. Now to asaba. So information and Saka is here from Supreme Court, and it's Supreme Court no ABTA suspended Chief Justice Tokonu injunction application or the Koye FA committee na omoye jumano ne enema onu jiri se. Entwa yi ntia se committee na adwuma no omo twentwen so kakra na san nya ntia se ne Supreme Court ebetra sa asem no so enti de be free ma ba bia no ye be ma maso ate then is pass
omo transi yi me wa ho asem kraka
sao
enti minia
o de ba round 2
transi
and yeah Supreme Court asem maka wa ha
David Twaso I didn't ask you to comment
enti to be very honest me I wasn't impressed with their honorable foreign affairs minister no crepa ne say
I did not expect you to be
say you train adwin na now say you train adwin but so say sisia even though or your politician na or leading a lot of propaganda for the NDC near there no and no or your foreign affairs minister responsible to lead your relations with other countries inti eso to ne boase kakra so I just say eso train nyama bi so kakra no ye it say eso hu ha obe manage no hu kakra. You don't announce the shutdown of a mission on Facebook wall. You don't do it on your Facebook wall. Nana, you don't do it. Unyewu baby yawu. Enti say the whole world will wake up to Facebook wall announcement. Say what shut it down? As what? What if your Facebook no crampo was hacked?
Ba we
No, make us some say what if it was hacked?
So we enti.
Yeah, but it was needless. Me see, I'm only drawing. I mean no. Minim dey cho yes ah.
Ade.
Once over the weekend no. Na Ghana for bebre na transfer be resign. Ono ane sem bi okan ye. Ono abie nanum ton kan ye e wa Dom FM studio say na ban NDC ba power. Na say omo kofa private jet e de obampanin bi tu kwan anaso obampanin abe de tu kwan a obe resign. Enti sa pressure no. And man yes say say the dia onfa be from between. But I don't think say it was something that the foreign affairs minister should have done. I don't think so. Now, in the matter of Galamsey fight, that's what I'm ready at. In the matter of Galamsey fight, the American and say, NDC are buying. So, man, to me, I share cra ma on my way, and share cra Galamsey dear, contributed to almost about 60 to 70% of their coming to power. Into Galamsey dear, almost to me, share cra on Susano. And then, I say, our win traditional council. A chop petition abro mampeni say NDC MP for our win constituency Galamsey wo monpeso so onye ho hwe Upper Dencha East constituency chairman for NDC eso soja ni mene say opede wo Galamsey site on free ono munya kwan yo madwuma onye ho hwe yesi afa chairman Kutu knows say chaba Kutu say saying akro from also NDC chairman ekwan ho pe no to Galamsey onye ho hwe na ne ameno ka say it has been reported said national security ankasa akwaje Galamsey efene say Galamsey side obi mining site say almost easy ina nipa no o ma pam ne nkrofo nyina nipa no koye no anadwo no more mass machines, no more Ruby. And I do no more Ruby to the extent that Joy News reporter Erastus a reporter say or Fred deputy director of operations at the presidency bisa and say I dey or say I no dey no more jam NDC for. Enti ena okosuno a osuno krom finfin ena ye wohoro Galamsey. In fact osuno cry the baby no enkrofo dan eti o. O mu window eti video ba kokra me hu ye won say atakwa me dan no. Ena boys la ko say hey ade we de gudie wo mu ye ba be wohoro na dajo. Eti dan na esi wo no. Dan na esi wo no mo de clear aye no. Ena fe de omo wohoro eyi good. Obviously ade na rich. No mu si dan no 18 ahia na. Omo ti say gudie wo mpa. So the Galamsey has escalated. Akosro apeja ni mu abai way from 2025 7 January to now they have not introduced a single new strategy in the fight against Galamsey, not even one new strategy. Opa naneo foul phone na ready all over the internet na catch me one new strategy abai way ba abai mu omo introducing in the fight against Galamsey. Zero. The umbeto yena and at best omo tafre ho. Meanwhile, in opposition, that is not what they told the people of this country. Omo kasa big. In fact, I do baby omo penin kasa we will fight Galamsey with AI. We will fight Galamsey with AI. Omo say when we come to power, we will ban all form of small scale mining for a while so that we sanitize the sector before we give out the licenses. Daniel, which of them have they done? Which of them have they done? Which of them have they done? In a Galamsey, he kwa ne koso, and then kofodia kromumpa. Na last night as you do be, or say, oh, omunye overheating na. Na come de mrika ko densu no masa densu. Or say densu no say aye fear to the sense say, o kosa be ye o ka no overheat, be ye na no kra boka. Kofodia krom densu nsuo, ye hu bi da. Adani milo. Why? Why? Me wa mo catch opposition say MPP for na wa be mu no mo ye Galamsey. It is a nay MPP afia bemu. Na say one ba bemu. I'm expecting say Galamsey ne be end. Na now, is it the case say Omampeni Mahama na ye Galamsey na? Because almost na Kufa na ye Galamsey nti mo nto abenti omo. Now, if you don't vote against the MPP government, Galamsey will never be eradicated. And that Galamsey is being done from the presidency. Now, na Kufa is not president. Now MPP is not in government. Galamsey peja na mu. Is John Mahama His Excellency doing Galamsey? I don't think so. I don't think so. Because I don't think say someone penny Mahama pesikedia. Galamsey sika nobody. But this party, NDC party, creating impression say Sana Kufa do pesikedia, Galamsey sika nobody. Why? And ye MPP yenwe hinti. Obi anka nkrofo we a demonstration 1 week. I want cry chrome because of Galamsey. 1 week. No mu jine chrome. Nkrofo ba hospital 37 cry esi kofie ko because sabe unim nyansa. For a week. Now Galamsey became a matter an albatross around MPP the whole of 2024. Omo making sure say Galamsey be pushing your opposition to the extent that 2 weeks to elections, these people and their surrogates, Professor Jampomo, were crying on TV say Labor Union nina nationwide strike, indefinite strike. Because Omampeni Akufo-Addo hasn't called for a state of emergency. Yaba bemu akwaje post. Shipping authority CEO not wokom. Galamsey apeja ni mu. Mon ka ho asem. Why are we doing this to ourselves? Why? Why are we doing this to ourselves? Adena omaya yetim yentumi nya nipa ba ku mienu pempo. No mo ka se ye de ye begina bebi yegina. Na ne amese opa ho. Kofa pictures and videos of omo yes labor union yema no. Na for pictures of omo agitations na kohwe aka me yensa pe na omo kwaji post o Mampeni Mahama Abamu. Omo aka nyina akwa kwaji post. When was the last time I saw Professor Jampo eka Galamsey hunsam? Objectives no soon even to the extent that omo call last your friend is saying trade union meeting here. Omo ka said no, they don't think say they have to declare the nationwide strike. Obejina TV so ka say the colleagues na ko jiska. Or granting interview say Ebimo I compromised. Now he is going to remain the conscience of the nation. Eka say gbogbo ye ba ye no Galamsey epeja. What is wakasa? Can I sigbe pedi ni pa mate he? Mameka se minchiro. About a week or two to elections, Professor Nyampo, ochesi Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia sa ahimachi na ochesi no with or say a undertaking for all candidates to sign. Say when they come to power, they are committing to in fact next week when they say undertaking no copy beba, they are committing to doing some specific things should they win power. Me say to the extent that ofreme I catch them me say me my your friend is saying say ya mad Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and sign this undertaking now. They will come out and let the whole nation know say all candidates have signed except Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. To Professor Jampo, I still have everything here. Emma, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia signed here. Me, I was there. Dr. Bawumia signed the undertaking. Me no the mommy. And I me friend Professor Jampo and Mr. Kanashigbe. And I made a copies mom. In fact, he even said, me dem forget hard copy in craft for now. Me sending a soft copy keke. Me sending a soft copy keke. And I sent it to him. That undertaking and the content of that undertaking, Professor Jampo, the undertaking is still with you. You have a copy. You told me and told Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia say all the candidates have signed, including His Excellency John Dramani Mahama then. So if John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, signed that undertaking there, Professor Jampo, take that undertaking and call out the president for overseeing a country that is decaying and sinking even lower in Galamsey than he came to meet. Speak up, because me send this document Professor Jampo around 12:1 a.m. At some point it was almost like a blackmail. One sign here, not just say would also supporting Galamsey because we are signing. Or catch and say John Mahama signing, all the other candidates are signing. If His Excellency John Dramani Mahama signed that undertaking, that's a Professor Jampo, you are not taking that undertaking, putting it on your Facebook wall and calling out the president, then you are a big disservice to this country. What dear Yamo, what bomb from what dad or my way? Hey, in this country, run up to 2024 elections, there were a few people that a lot of people were quoting in this country in terms of advocacy. Professor Jampo was one of them. And I don't forget to say he was speaking in an official capacity. UG secretary into Okasa near and every day, if you recall, everyday threats. Every day, in the government, we will go on strike. In a UG well, we are going to vote. We'll go on strike every day. Now Galamsey has escalated. Why is Professor Jampo not speaking? Why? In a woman, what position we are buying him? In a car buying him. In a Galamsey, me on my way. In a kuyen, sa undertaking na. Uma Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia signing yana. Yede copy bra wona okache and say Mahama, His Excellency is signing no. Professor Jampo, fasa undertaking no. Now call out the president. Now on taking decisive action on Galamsey. I am not saying say Galamsey was not there the time he came. Galamsey was there before Akufo-Addo came. Galamsey was there before Akufo-Addo came. And yet we kicked him out of power because of Galamsey. And I will buy power on the back of Galamsey. And then Galamsey no apeja no mohombe miensa than Roberto no barely 120 days ago. So you have to act. And I am saying this because we don't see a single new thing. Yengu adefo for bakumpo awaya. Yet different from what you came to meet. And that's why I am worried. Very, very worried. Now, Okoka, almost na MPP abai na momo bai de na mo ye. De no. Eno na wugusu awo ye. It is a office say anya hwede a ana de na ya. Na na way. Me no kase wi for phone. From Professor Jampo. Like I say prof. Yes say undertaking bia.
Onu kwani Ghana ni.
David no so no lead undertaking no. That's why I'm specific. Na me choose me words, me choose it carefully. One, me methodist ni. Two, me equiapim ni. And I train me ko presbytery school. Ye mo ye din Dennis Abuaji, ye mo ye Abuaji Dennis. That means that you training in a certain way. Who should be born the same name first? I likely so called presbytery school. What is your name? My name is Abuaji Dennis. That's likely. We are trained in a certain way. Me chantro and Tuni Paso. I can tell you that for a fact. I don't undermine, I don't blackmail, I don't sabotage, I don't lie on people. I didn't hear you know. As a political party, our fight is against NDC, not individuals. I am singling out Professor Jampo because he personally dealt with me.
Until payback time.
No, I am simply saying, say, on my yes sign a reminder. Thank you, Doc. Thank you, Doc. A reminder, say, Obe Kaya, Prof, Oma, all the candidates, signing undertaking B, committing to certain actions on Galamsey should they win power. Woman, Dr. Mahmoud Bamia sign bi. I remember that you told me, say, as at the time I hear signing, no, what's the candidates in our signing, except Dr. Mahmoud Bamia, and yes, signing from bro. Now, more by press conference. Yes, I know, me and me for the Mao. Professor Jampo, me say, me Kai was a undertaking a beya. Ja position now, Wakokodi when this year by the Muna and into Minkasano. Now, first undertaking, no, now call out the president. And one day now, what they call strike, what they share you target, a call strike. All my students see 3 months, weeks, because of Galamsey. At some point, people even told you, say, Nanka Galamsey and some point there, if a students and Obaya or punish you, what say it's for the fight, it's for Mother Ghana. What say it was for Mother Ghana. Who advocacy said 2 weeks to elections, yen declare state of emergency. Now, on minor and shut it down. Otherwise, labor union will go on an indefinite strike. You are still alive. The undertaking is still in your hands. Unfortunately, Professor Jampo, Galamsey now was saying declare state of emergency in 2024. No, a home, a page of Muslims in the city, no, and Brenna soon. Say, I'll be found that taking no from and penny no kind of say, Niama or sign a no, and Brasso say, Obedu Hunduma. Mate, Meda say, and at the end, himself, mommy, so was some amount time. And at the end, a couple of my crabbles, so become a brain in Casa. One more Mabasumpu. So, Yamisha,
Doc. Cardinal.
Yes, sorry, no.
Now, well, containers in some way, Minia John. Ziggy. Say, the area Pimunani say, oh, earlier, and someone would in kind back. No, now we need no, a tea, a moha, and a moha, and then the mood drew and temuari.
Pa.
Ya open sa.
Me pen sa mum. Professor Kofie Jekuma da Roma.
Yen hwe ye free say. Saa de yi wo ka se wo domu pa ya. Na say ampa code of discipline and a code
conduct.
Of conduct. Mampani edi tu dwa na say yen che ye bande na so for no. Wo ko hwemu ye pa. Eno na minua John ho beka ho.
Ah.
Oh yes. Ansa na okasa ye no. Die ni nyina so a wonya ya ansa na okasa. Ana say ahoden a na ode ka asem na woka no. Sabi na efiri. Wo so okasa wie na anche na Dubik. Mama. Former ECG boss. Obeka say asem a woka no entumi nya no kwa efiri say ECG wo bibia ene da so report ho. Enti ya pe obi a ni position aye vindicated and I say na some o kan ye adanse abamu a eye de Dubik e kan ye no a entira mi di kan say cardinal my chichire enye mampamrika ti mesre se minua no obepe asem bia ka che Ghana force obepa ye chewo se bibia wo bia no onye abo no se makaso menwe esne bibia. But say bibi be koso anko ye na ye mpese ye begia tum na ye say eye normal ana say ye ti say de tie na no menyi ni say ya asem papa de to so bio a me pese eyi mi yi free one mo eye famu agudie tu ho asemi minua Charles ene
Dennis
Aboaji Dennis omo kan sem ni bi. Na last week me kan me san sisu bio say cardinal famu agudi a yetunu kwan bone so no say ye pese ye so ano ni enya ye famu agudi no so mfa so pa emra na ebo no yen sa kirem article 257 the whole of it especially clause 6 no ana minerals and mining law 2006 act 703 ya amended am say with 920 or something to change the royalties formula in 2020 thereabout. Yan shares had any if you say one more tip from more good year no so no. Oka say omu niche from be womb na ye hu from more good year be or my munu dia. Mampani timi ye de opa bia paw obi say or the tumi ama no onko no nko to from more good year no ho na omoto ho nipa naba otu fomu agudie ese wo mu nsuo ese wo mu asase wo mu ntimi anya adwuma bia biom afen so de na nse yanya nhwehwemu afri abode mu nyansapɛ anim di for power ne se nadia edi gu ye mogya mu ema ese wo mu awode mmofra ye wo no mu asabi dem wo mu di fro mo yam na eba ane mmere ma asabi wo mo hoden eye mmere na ebinu nkra de wo mu dobnada enya sem kuma enti ya nhwe ni yie na ya nsakyere mu se omanfo na ete ho no ye ma omo sa niema mu chefa se yo ha mu nchemu aduonu anase aduonu num 20 or 25% ene edi ma wonom na aban anase oman no so afa ebia 60 anase 70% na local authority or yamano be oha mu nchemu enum. I'm just throwing this formula figures out say yanhwe na ya restructure ownership wonuma ewo wonum enye royalties is different from royalties ni there just mpatasika bi yanhwe na ya nchichire anhyehyɛ mra ne yi a ebe ha dwere fi say mra yi wo say you know makapen mesa kan biom. It is a colonial relic. It became necessary after the failure of the British Omoji and Sasina in 1897. Bra, John Mesa Sabanum, almost original in the name of Aborigines Right Protection Society. Now, Brofuno no Muswabeje concessions one mono, almost original any resi. Emma Sebi, Crown Land Bill no, a defeat year wa Ghana. And I go to Sabrino. Yanshe, Nian go back to it. 1962 it became part of yen laws. Atramwa mesre say yenhwe mranu biom. Cardinal foreign affairs.
On your last one.
The last one. Minua minister ohono. Ebia mena mafutu ontia. Ye papa, menene nyina ye papa no. His Excellency former President John Ajikum Kufuor. On our introduction, Emma Ambassador DK was say, ni book be our diplomatic privileged conversations, adventures of an African diplomat, 2020 year. Now, okay introduction now, Papa, His Excellency John Ajikum Kufuor, o tufu bi ho, mekano poto, meputo. Na makano kasemu or say or can send be brain or say networking abilities, curiosity about the human condition, emotional intelligence, na me the account application of native wisdom, and courage are proofs of the experience and expertise required of a diplomat. Networking. Networking abilities, curiosity about the human condition, emotional intelligence. Now, maybe the account will say application of native wisdom.
If you answer.
And courage are proofs of the experience and expertise required of a diplomat. J. Kufuor in the introduction to Ambassador D.K. Osei's, His Excellency D.K. Osei's book, Privileged Conversations. Now, Cardinal, yenuano ope social media pa. In this age and time, uye bibibia, say radio, uye medicine, uye engineering, social media has become a necessary tool. Now so diplomat no, uye obia esese wosunson ho pa o social media. You must use social media sparingly. Sparingly. If it's a someone who can obiano, the internet does not forget. I'm on for your data mining. Cardinal, me can yet say yes say Ghana embassy in the United States. You're close no down. And I'm saying, what? Wait a minute. As a man yet ye. Mampani Mahama approve yana. Did the president know? Foreign Affairs Minister, owo tumi a onu kwa timi atena nkran. E close down embassy. Nanya embassy bi akeke. Your major partner, United States. United Nations headquarters. Friends saying, you did be honmo. Man, just here. Intianra, me who crata about Bontin say, Minister no adie na wayeno. Ya reverse no. Enya ono na san yo. The statement came from the Foreign Affairs Ministry there, but I think it came from the Public Relations Directorate. And I maybe say minister should be by now. Cardinal miracles I can't see be. Somehow kind of the nature say or jump from frying pan to fire. If somehow kind say the or my sika Emma private jet fa or my moon nipa penny or resign. Na say no na person or kata sunti or koya side we are. And then why ya na was here. Why ye na was here me person meka.
The ibe no.
Why ye and was here. Oh born na was here account.
Oh yeah, ibe no.
Wow.
And I was remember you were hard to pay.
And we are this in other
serious. Serious, sir. You see, politician there, who credibility na ne wano kasa ne oni yoye. Wano kasa ene oni yoye. Se beko benkru. Minim there. But ye nyina ye kasa mampani mabunu stage no de ye twam. Meno nyina ye free ho. Ye twam. The age for youth no. Charles onye youth. Who twam 35 well film. What I say? Unti ye free ho. But still technically we are considered youth. Enti ye nyina ye kasa mabunu mra mamuo mu no.
Senior youth.
As mabunu a nya ye no ebe ma mpanifo kra eye mu ahihye omo se adana mofra ye hu omo ntem
ne anaye nya akire ma wo mo
anaye nya akire ma wo no because on betumi aye na mom ye no ne mfom so ya adoso ana na me kai me na me papa na kobran ketia otoso enum na se mo kan o se mfom so amfam puntu ma ubetum pon a ese we die from soye. To develop is to stop or stop repeating errors. Enti mesre minuano se me kwabra bon fe mafuto na wontia ye papa John Ayekunfu kufo atufu bi ewo sakrata mu privileged conversations on person book no bi na on kan na friends so ambassador diko se ne troye wo kon legon bookshop a ono onim ho obenya bi akan na on kai Her Excellency Maria Fernanda Gasse. There be a council for foreign affairs for book compilation be on year 2023. Mama know what chapter 17. Now same be account was say a patient man will eat a ripe fruit. A patient man will eat a ripe fruit.
Yes, I say. Unya butreko zongwa unya bitipedi.
Thank you. Enti Mimiano the mekache nyina ne say Ghana a key player in foreign affairs and international diplomacy. Enam ya hyase empania hodo adwuma wo ma bedie ana ne o ma ye de asom man yi. Enti sa ayi dibre na kuta no nne no. Enye sabi student politics ne CJ politics. A serious business as I saw train ye.
Reverend Charles Ozubram
also Ghana on Swagana ye na Ghana so and kind of money dimpa.
Nana
Reverend
baby amini and Dr. Didru here odisi ya mamfa to ho. Niema mienu na wo wiase. Usa na yeto aduane mabudi. And so we nyina wa so to waduane di. So ye dem.
Ana MPP a NDC bom so mo so be Galamsey
say campaign me no dura ana bibia team be from bi but amambu kwa na amambu ba amambu ni a very serious business me te say you nua ba ko bi na mfonso bi akɔfa ne ho because they say yɛnhwɛ mu wie nti no yɛntim ka sɛ ɔyɛ ana ɔnyɛ ne mom sɛ aban yi wɔ hɔ nti sɛ obi baako bi ɛyɛ bɔne a the whole entire government nyinaa
yɛngu no
yɛbɛgu no anaa nana yɛbɛgu no
in fact
foreign affairs a yɛnua kugyato ankasa yɛ minister ɛda no yi nti wɔda sɔre na sɛ paper bi atwerɛ biribi afa foreign affairs ho anaa nhwehwɛmu bi akɔ so no yɛhu sɛ nnipa baako anaa mmienu bi ayɛ mfonsoɔ bi a nti yɛbɛpam obiara firi foreign affairs no ne nkɔfoforɔ bɛgu mu anaa megye di sɛ nyɛ saa ne teɛ
Charles Mejawano see mame information one of top Ghana's top diplomats and or they are the recent day me. I say a guy charges for postal delivery services and you label it massive corruption. Didn't the guy even have a signed contract for the delivery service? And recall all staff, including defense attaches and others. How are embassies closed? You need to inform the receiving state in advance of your intention to close the embassy. It is a highly sensitive issue to close an embassy. It is only closed when two countries have issues or when there is a major threat, not a so-called corruption involving a staff. You have just terminated people posting just like that. Kids in school, mortgages, car loans, and all that. Did you consider them? Look, diplomacy is not a child's play.
Nana, asema na meguso kan. Na me catch you because Donald Trump on mo open bi apam na fikuro mu. Agidan e wo kuro yi na mu na odaro na daro.
Why the ama no?
Tonton penalty fi akọ. Na why tie ama no. Ene ne dan hɔ akɔgye na ade. Mo kura mu me pam apam mo dada. Go mo nya hwe ha. Isi ye nuanum nya wotre. Aban 5 months ni mo mfie miensa ene fa edamonim. Ade on person ye bia no. Mo betumi aye.
Tumi kwan paso.
Ewo kwan paso. Nti America tuo no de ben ya. Penifo sem frama de hwim paade a onya.
Ara officer o tumnika.
Na America tuo because see Pablo Bonny was a come here more. I say, Cochirama, ye pentema magana for bad and to say ye baby. But I did your baby, I say, Papa, who a bonus of you. And tis America tuna a young shishia cry. So, but that's on the channel pie, a pack of your so now who names on your bonnet. As some I can find who on your bonibia. Nempo senka ebe ye kura nanka ebinimu ko ho no na ebinu so eden frimu ebia make say ye changes ebi fi Chad and eko US and US for no so ebe sen ko Chad entininka changes beti me den abam se be adwuma no ye nkrosu man ye now prekope na me kabila kan bibi say foreign mission na ye see e krosu down o mampani e ma ho kwan ana nkomodie cabinet ne G2 mu ana sense one person betima sorry the to me ayo mind to me I can't just say ne but and me mo bi aduane ni because me minister nti obi an free onko ba I mean yenya botre na ohun ma hwe ni yi a goodwill no ohun Ghana for to aba no man bibi na e bromo so a de o ha be den e beba ohun yenu ekugyato se bebre ho kan ya na nyina kore yeah after say ye beto bayi ya list sika dodo a o man no akudi nkofo ho ye gia that is ade chan Ghana kwa ye wie oral no
kabila oral
but me tie de ye wura dem no bo o kan ye papa no penasam ba was yes ya present report on the ama president but ono na dwimu no nyani nyina na mposo kitika ye den ebe yi no cred yes who said nipa na ye obi a odi no cred and that is why they be a catch and say Mr. Nadaro mebru maami to konu asem no ana no ye bibi di no anye ne de waka ho asem abesi ne na de ye de aye obi a ye de aye wanye ode ne ye mfa nye obi na bi wo gidi oni mu se ono onhwe ma ye mfa boni ni maami no because nana make kan krata na hu se customers ye kan asem no ho adenti
say Osha latest year mami talk no de buy or say she is against that. Then number 2 or say next time can be ni say petitioners no privileges be a ono onibi it is yama petitioners privilege man ye dia any ono so yama
na ho na me bayi
Oh.
say me pacho ye dia sama ye di no fan enya court
in fact committees are tisa ni nyina no omuhia o court premises
na adenti da de ko hye edan mu obi asa wakum nipa why
Ojini phone free ni
na dia menti ase kran say
ya bua no
or no petitioner no lawyers no petitioner say omo appear na mo dance for and beba I say what be that mampani odaroma
o say munyi no TV so ma obi anhwe bi so
obuo ni anidi am wo ma
o say dabi
Attorney General say the constitution is explicit on that.
Oh,
or say yen cano in camera. Enti maame no
na dey na omo be kan in camera omo nyan kan publicly
or say
Attorney General
or say
press conference or no on press conference on cases asana wako
say munti Attorney General or say case na da hon enye about
to try cases in the media
or say e Ghana mra de mra no
na
kan
me tiase
mra ne say yen kan
bacho Ghana mra no e kan find say Bangkok castle portion ben e kan say asam Bangkok castle portion ben me bunu pa Attorney General me penasem pa is a fine gentleman obunu pa wo se makana fidie so Ira Mahama me penasem pa ne mo sa kruwa we onu ma no emwa no na duro enumi aduro no enyu no
efe bi so boa no
oh of course
enti fa ka ho preko na
na so na odi aka ho ma me penasem me boa no
na efe bebre so
me boa no fa bebre so because na koma panti ne mum sa de we de o mampani ede kan bi betu nipadua ho na ebedi wachi afibɔ ade asɛm nie nipa no muse waye bɔne wo otumi amudi na asɛm na asa ye bo ne kumfo obi ayi koku no o se ka kasere ye kasere ko keke kra na ye yan hihie o se kasere no ye de wo kɔ ha because ye nim de asi hɔ mre bi atwa mu nti ana ye de wasɛm wo kɔ hɔ asa ye de obi akɔ police station na say man fa no cost striking force na bujanfo akɔ fasting because obi anim de ekɔ so striking force wonti eno kra no yam
na striking force e da so ho
ayam hihie na ye de wo kɔ no ana se yɛmfa no kɔ sukula omu nim se baabi wo ha ya hyɛda ka se ɛhɔ nyɛ nti ye de nkɔfo a omu yɛ bad boys na de kɔ na wo nim se wo nyɛ bad na ye de wo kɔ akɔ frasa nkɔfo no nti maame no obi a wo yɛ chief justice mu a ɔman no bɔ no ho ban sɛ na ye kana sɛm a ɔne ye kana sɛm te sɛ bi o abofra bi a ɔyɛ a court attendant bi ase sɛbi common criminal bi David
but no majority leader can be or say
David
the adro na say e mra na the chief justice ho ban ti enche aban de mra be ba court
na ye yiri bia na ye mra de aba obi ho ban enye yi hwɛ nana me maame no nsɛm a ɔka no ɛnɛ ɛyɛ toko no enti bia e bɛka sɛ yɛmfa ni no sɛ ɔkɔ no ne lawyer na ye sim 7 or ye 7 nkrata on her behalf no ye she data say man for na ntum
only chambers crowd on invitation no call you
yes
see you recognize and say
but ye nua pani ye offer Poaman yes and friend
Gabriel Scott Poaman JS
although he's only acting committee
on the esi ne ye hu nana emre ye ninka so emre bie ni ho edi kaso in fact na me hu videos and MPP for comes am say hey emre dane ekuro bi din and pa na MPP for na come say ye bo wi because na under 5 months ago no mutia bem
enri crap papa bia
na ntin kofu bi ni sa when those wrongs
were happening
and ne for man ye offer Dennis and san friend boy
adibu asiedu anade hin
asiedu
adibu asiedu
mon kan hu se emre wo hoyi ye ni nkaso me nkaso ma ye boni bia wo but de mu susukruwa no amana na mu tu di ma amena hyemu no muntu amana obekom yie e mo tu amana ne hu betwitwi ansa wona wura amana ne mu a e bia kyena na sa amana na akro na ye de wede e kwa kohyem na ene ye ono maka se ye hwe maame no ne anhwe office na e be mistake because untimi nyi maame no free office no it is the office na I under attack. It is the office of the chief justice that under attack, not Tokunu as chief justice. Enti me sre na what na ba making kan a daily guide him. I dey some na cause Ghana say edi ama asem ni ewura mahama wada ro meburu se yenim se kwa wabahi niam bebre wo a ebesesa even nana he na no me call me on soja for bebre
ha na odi besi o
pa na nipa akofie ho generous akofie me ha mani a edoso papa
said that me kan ha about 50 of them
yes na obi
retirement
obi kan se mi kire me na se o ka kire me yam shim no so say rank we na me wo within 8 years time na me dru ha na nti se me ko dru ho wie na se MPP so ba na om ka se me ya NDC ni a na om be yi mi kofi a na bra ma bra nyina me bra kosi sen aso o ka kire me no enti in some no look I say ya nhwe ne an ka ne yi a na etua yonko etua edade mu na eda ebe patre si udie mu no wo ka mu no nya wonya gefo ti moma yenye careful o man mu na yenyina no de ye pese ye bia no ye fa onyamesuro enikan Bible say nyansa mfiti ase
eni nyamesuro
mate enti obi a o nyansa bia no usuro awrade
mate
yendwen Ghana ho ne yen kai ho se ye be dan agya wasase so enipa enka hoda
Electricity Company of Ghana no pay me ka kire mo se Ensawemu district enkanka na omo a omote efri kutunsi ede ba pobimane sapema ho se modum omo kanea almost 3 days anope me kan ye mo so be 1 hour omo se mo asan adum no enti se ye fort na ho a mo ti wo no ehunu badanya sa de a ne amo ye no mo sen kofo ne ma ECG Ensawemu district mo hwe ne ye Dennis
Naneo
Tommy
and they are quiet diplomacy. And when I say foreign affairs minister over here, quiet diplomacy. You see, you have politics and foreign affairs. Into power, share all successive foreign affairs ministry. Any ministers aba. Ube mu say even Nana Danko Kufuor because you consummate politician crown. Or they have posture and record as a foreign affairs minister. It's society. Anything that normally, your foreign affairs ministers normally almost progress to the international community right after Ombeyo Majuma.
First, African Obey UN General Assembly President Alex Kwesinsaki.
I'm telling you, share. They are honorable Samokujo to Ablakoyeno. It can best be described as politics. But no, you find yet diplomacy, foreign service for them. Obi wa na juma for so many years. They say na Reverend Niken. Why na juma for so many years?
Career diplomat.
A targeted. Honorable Nana Safoje, Bosomi from MP, what bibi, and I think say idea is a tree drink also. Share or say recalling the diplomat, no. And yes, and one said my recaller Muntombre Fikeko. What he has done is a basically also my palm obian, just a cleaner one way was a munina mumbra, obiao typist. Apobia. The total cost of recalling one person from Washington is $17,550 USD. One. Because someone all recalling the travel allowance $2,500 USD. Travel allowance for each of his dependents or maximum 4 $2,500 USD each. Freight allowance for the personal effect $8,550 USD. Freight allowance for vehicle $1,500 USD. One-way ticket $2,500 USD. Embassy no over 15 staff. Into Kaboma over 200,000 USD never cost him to record them. And ya no pay. Na ya almost so be free Ghana. Akwa Washington also. Sa e friend say benefit nyina e come all because of what? Share. Maybe initially I make me here comment. I didn't want to go into the substance of the matter. Mene Washington staff ni bi akasa. No crane say most of them have nothing to do with all this consul visa nyama into opamon is saying anti trade representative you know what embassy opamon is saying your friend is saying information ministry representative no if I want ho ben e kamia ko to say no maba obia oko embassy hall within the last 8 years no yen you nyina na me fa microphone ko and I me no ka say no so posting microphone ko we posting Kokrokoo new people a free Ghana the omoko.
Dennis Mamenko.
Oh no, Mami land.
The
gentleman no ye kasa waye no ayo no wedi bone sempo wedi bone bia because according to US residents in Okrampo no the Ghanaian community in the US, most of them are happy with the services. Because according to them, in the year 2020, because of COVID, now embassies were chaotic. Until they decided to introduce a freight service, a mailing service,
courier service.
Courier service. Say, be our visa near ready. Near the Asuma. So what they decided to do is say, you better courier service. What I see in there is a conflict of interest issue. Say, IT person now. Edu or no company in order mailing services, no. But do you think say the gentleman could have put the company no link on the embassy's website without approval from the embassy? Would you say a bit more possible? Say peacefmonline.com. Now, what event company? Now event company and link at the peacefmonline.com. Father Dixon, any management and sign it off. They signed off. So really, no, it is not. Like scandal be a na de bi koso osuma se a ebia wako onkoba na eni ho. It is quite clear from what has happened. They say the embassy, the mission was aware that one, ye visa process ni wi a ye the massa company we ema ni maili emom. Let me also state say o kan honorable Okudjota black comment na it was as if say obi a divert sika say e kwa embassy that is not the case. That is not true. What was happening is that who process it, who apply for visa anywhere on the website, who select it, open mailing service. That's open mailing service there. Any institution way
charging any
be mailing amount. It's a mailing service and a charge in a wutria and your embassy nisika. And that the embassy also doesn't have a mailing service. And a waka say, Akawa Njia and Quebec embassy no ho. So in fact, what the issue is that the IT personnel company in a mailing service, that for me could be an issue of conflict of interest. But there is nothing scandalous so proportionate to shutting down an embassy.
Let's limit it to his own.
You could have called him, called all the people who are connected with visa processes in the mailing service. No what you maso. But embassy phoning to the extent I will say, me close it down, me shut it down embassy. What it means is that for the past 3 days, Ghana relations with the United States of America, all because of BB. And now let me also state, say, I have no credit. Say, embassy nisike B, area, it is not true. The mailing service now, gentleman, provided to visa applicants, which is optional, is what has been dealt with. And I think, say, you can deal with the gentleman, prosecute him, do whatever you want to do with him, but allow the embassy, the Republic of Ghana, to have presence in the United States of America.
Medase Dennis, Papa. Papa CY Chreme, or your first Ghanaian headmaster, SDA Secondary School, Ewo Bekwai. Na mo amafa SDA Secondary School mu nyina ese amfanto mo anim say Papa Chreme first Papa Chreme ono oye first Ghanaian headmaster ewo SDA Secondary School no nyame eya adoma kwasia da ebei ena na yiye beba so ewo fanchene bra Santase School Park ewo Kumase enti ose amfanto mu nyina mo anim sanso so no obi a otie me bia se unim SS Apia former Ashanti Regional Police Commander na otwe wieye na SS Apia so na yie eba so ewo Kumase Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology eno so eho asem eno no abusua ena ene anopay so yede musie Kofi Kumbelson the royal baby animal betena free sabri kopem se premo ebeto Abigail Odum Abigail Odum o etibie Nelson ene you awoda ofa upon Edward owo Chebi Government Hospital say omao etri enkwa Abigail Odum Kofi Kumbelson no betra kopem se premo beto me fa kwanya so da Dr. Father Dixon Kennedy Asante o say Sofo Kojo Asante Stephen Bafo Peter Square Isaac Opoku Pretty Joyce Dominic Nyanwu na Pepra Odi anka kwa me yeba na mambia makwafo medamu nyina ase yafrem nana ya okese wetu yafrem the cardinal metremu Emma Ghana's Morning Voice Chairman General Kwame Sefakan me de radio asumdwe ejamu nyina makramu